we're seeing a lot of teams lean into like longer range compositions as well, where it doesn't feel like a Devour is able to do all that much. As we actually have the TF coming through for WE. So far, the only role they've played this in is AD carry, so maybe going to send that one down bot again. We know could also be played up in the top lane. FoFo showing his hand with the Hui. It's another champion he's been really successful on. 2 games, both were wins so far. Just such a good champion at being able to generate that prio in mid.
Yeah, the Twisted Fate that they brought it out against IG and they won the game. Like it was kind of a clean Twisted Fate coming out from Stay. You know, he's been playing and winning on the Twisted Fate. He's been beating rulers Twisted Fate in lane. Like maybe Stay is the answer. But the Tahm Kench that we talked about will be locked in the end to try and keep LWX alive. I will say in terms of the 2v2, definitely leaning the way of Stay and Lwandy in terms of recency, but also in terms of like this Twisted Fate. It's pretty impressive in the laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, he can just do so much. And then I'm curious to see how much Stay is able to do on the map in mid-game. That's why I feel like for RNG, they probably need to lean a bit heavier into engage with one of their last 2 picks. But it might be hard as well. Having the Cassante, having the Tahm Kench, they might want to lean into a more damage-oriented jungler early on. But with the TF, with the Destiny, W are going to have so many ways to just try and pull RNG around the map and start looking for picks.
One of the junglers that is still available in the pool, I just want to throw it in there, is Mundo. Heng has played Mundo jungle 3 times this split. I'm not sure anyone else has even looked at the pick, but Heng loves it.
Yeah.
It could be an option for them. Obviously doesn't scratch the itch of doing damage, but there'll be more Way's wheelhouse on this one. Graves banned, the Nico taken away from Tangyuan as well. A lot of mid lane bans in this one. FoFo's already got his.
We do still have things like if they wanted to opt into like a Tristana plus an AP jungler, would very much still be available. Decide not to go for that, instead going for the Xin Zhao. You can see that W are also concerned about RNG needing more damage in the jungle role, which is why the Graves was taken off the table. Now, with where WE will go, I mean, the Aatrox, I think, would be a very solid pick. Would give you another lane to set up through with the TF. My God, man. With Heng on the roster, I never know where to expect that WE are going to go with draft.
Man, can you imagine if the Twitch was actually locked in? That would be something else. Obviously, it's going to be the Darius. I don't know why I said obviously. There's nothing obvious about this. Wayward is going ham in the top side. You love to see it. He's already played 3 games on the Darius. He's won all 3 of them. I know he locks it in again. He wants to dominate Breathe at the top side.
Yeah, I mean, we were asking for wacky drafts coming in, teams to lean into their own flavors. WE are really going the extra mile with that. Now to see where RNG go with their mid lane pick. I mean, this makes the most sense, right? With Karma and Azir both being off the board and them needing to lean into AP. So now going to have a global of their own to try to match. I mean, RNG's comp, a lot more like our idea of what the meta looks like right now, very stable. For WE, I think it's going to be a lot about, you know, seeing if we can snowball, seeing if we can find these advantages in mid-game, especially using Stay to maybe enable the Darius. We have things like the Trundle coming through, which kind of changes the dynamic of the game, right? Being able to go for those level 2 ganks with the pillar just to force a flash. So a lot of aggressive options are there for WE.
Yeah, I feel like you say, RNG have kind of gone, this is what's strong in the meta right now. And W have gone, screw it. Let's play these champions. I like these champions. The Darius off the Trundle jungle. TF 80 carry that we've seen a bit of. It's certainly not a new phenomenon. But we're not really seeing it never really caught on in the LPL, I think is the best way to describe it, where it has been strong. We've seen strength from it, but it's not really, didn't catch on like wildfire like I think some people were expecting, myself included there. We'll see how this is going to go. Look, spirits are high as well within the WE camp there. You can see people giggling away, ready to jump into the game. It's going to be an exciting one, Lyric. WE versus RNG. And we'll see what RNG can bring to the table. They've got to show us more than what we've seen recently.
Yeah, 2-6. It is looking grim for RNG fans with RNG on their way to playoffs. WE, though, 5-3 in a much better spot and clearly not slowing down with the momentum.
Definitely not. I'm looking topside here. Wayward on the Darius. Let's get into game 1 of WE versus RNG.
Chios. Extra loud is Ming.
Oh boy, gold card comes in. Lwandy getting his route down as well. Ming is damn tanky for a level 1 champion. And he will walk out with his life. The power of the Kench keeps him safe, as WE should be able to get some deep vision to start this off as well. And in fact, in the meantime, Heng moved in to get vision on the top side of the jungle. So no information gained for RNG. Loads for the side of WE.
Yeah, and I love this from WE. Doesn't look like Way's going to end up falling for it and just heading back down to his spot side, but they were looking to cheese him. Look on the minimap, looks like Breathe. Okay, actually, he's going to be fine. So no shenaniganry. Going to come level 1, but to kind of bring us into the game, right? We have things like the Trundle, obviously incredibly strong, being able to duel and kind of match the presence of the Xin Zhao. See with that Q, a lot of damage, stealing away some of the AD. Lethal tempo, though, has been nerfed slightly for melees with the amount of attack speed it gives, so I wonder if that'll really play into this at all, or if it's just a minor kind of inconvenience, and Heng will still be able to dominate in this matchup. Up to a great start so far with this invade.
He certainly is. Getting himself some chickens. I'm looking towards Wayward in the top side as well. 3-0 on the Darius pick. He's a player that we literally highlighted coming into the series, how he's been performing, and Breathe has been having a rough split. Heng moving straight into the mid lane, going diagonal across the map here, knows that Way started on his bottom side, knows that invading this bottom quadrant would be a potential answer for Way, so denying that opportunity.
Yeah, denies the opportunity. If Tangyuan had overstayed right, just a pillar could have forced out the flash. So I even like just making the move anyway. If a mistake could have come through, you could have been able to punish it. And top lane, I wonder how much action we're going to get with Breathe on the Cassante. But hell, this really is the Wayward pick. Something he's leaned on even before really any other top laner was willing to pull it out. So I have some faith that Wayward might be able to make action happen that was not otherwise possible. He's a magician.
Here we go. Way trying to sneak through. The ward just placed, does not actually go for the invade. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and go for a blow bomb or something there, and it did feel dangerous. Lwandy, though, feeling a little bit saucy in the mid lane. That is a long way between him and Tangyuan. Flash hook could be an option, as he's just going to menacingly walk towards Tangyuan and deny a melee minion.
And it's really interesting, right? Because before coming to the day, me and you were talking about how it feels like it's harder to find an impact on mid lane this split, and not many teams have been trying. But so far, WE already putting a lot of emphasis around mid, with both Heng and Lwandy showing up. Might even be able to get double scuttle with the position of where Way is on the map, but looks like we're more likely.
Oh, in the meantime, Tangyuan caught in the mid lane. They're kind of out of damage, though. Lwandy tagging the tower. Oh, the double apprehend from Wayward. What a start to the 2v2. Way knocked up. I don't know if he survives this one or not. The Q flashed away from. Way survives, Breathe survives, but it costs them both their flashes.
Yeah, what a great play coming through from Wayward. Look at where the wave is, too. Has it in a pretty good spot to be able to capitalize and push his lead further ahead. Luckily, Breathe does have the TP to get back to lane, but this is the exact kind of start you'd want to see.
Oh, Lwandy has TP'd into this lane, and it means that Ming and LWX have kind of overstayed on the play. That's going to be a gold card coming through. Ming forced to flash. Lwandy forcing flashes everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, right, there's so much CC between the two of them. The Q coming out from Lwandy, the passive, the gold card. Able to get so many summoners, locking them in place for so long. And so far, it hasn't been, you know, a ton of kills in this first 5 minutes, but the action is not stopping.
Way doesn't have flash. Way does not have flash, and the lethal tempo procced for Heng. He's like, forget the small chicken. I want to take this jungler out. Doesn't find his window, but even still, the pressure that's being put on here. Breathe, no flash, no TP. If Heng wanted to move up to the top side, it could get dangerous.
And this is why Breathe, having to back off a little bit, get some of his own vision down to get wards on these grubs and make sure that he doesn't get caught out because of where the wave is placed. So WE extending their small wins even further now. Way gonna see if he can find something himself.
This is more like it. This feels like LPL right here. Way ganking in the bottom side as Lwandy is caught. Flash available for him, but I don't think you're getting out of this one. First blood taken by RNG. Way gets himself on the map.
Nice response. I do also like for Lwandy not wasting the flash, right? Realizing he's going to go down no matter what. But now, all 3 grubs taken by WE. RNG going to be able to capitalize off that kill with the Drake. So RNG finally finding a bit of a pulse.
And already, like, this is a proactive game from both sides. And I feel like WE, especially Heng, have been extremely aggressive. Lwandy too, roaming towards that mid lane. Tangyuan will be fine, I think, because Drake down 700. This should just be taken by RNG. They can back away from this one as well.
What is
the skull crab will be taken. Yeah, I don't know. Lwandy, this is not a fight that you win, buddy, but there we go. Everyone backs away. But I like that RNG are answering back, right? You know, this gank towards bot side. Way goes for the opposite play once they see Heng on the grubs. It's good to see a little bit of life from an RNG roster that has been a bit lifeless.
Yeah, right. Just showing a little bit right now. We know they're going to have incredibly strong scaling for team fights later on, not only with the Senna, but just the amount of frontline that they do have. Sure, Heng's going to be able to deal with it a little bit with that ulti. It's still a lot of tools for RNG to use. I gotta say, though, with the way Lwandy was posturing, even though I was staring at Stay being level 4 at the time, I was like, is this just a bug? Is Stay like level 6 and we just don't notice it? That's why Lwandy feels so confident?
Look at this invade from Heng as well. Instantly, the second that red buff is back on the map, Heng is here to take it. Away his path towards his top side. He'll be able to go for his crooks, but that control ward might stay for a while as well. It's one of those ones where, oh no, the ward came too late. I don't think they spotted Heng, and it won't spot the fact that the red buff is gone either. Wayward pops his ghost breathe, still no flash available. All out in play, but I don't know if he'll be able to find an angle. Nobody's near a wall right now, and he's just gonna be destroyed. I was gonna say decimated, but the decimate, not even needed.
Not even used. And like you said, all of that being down, kind of unfortunate timing. Ward coming out right when Heng had walked past and breathed, clearly not expecting the gank to come through. I love the way that this WE roster is working together early on. Not only the ganks, but FoFo leaning for the Tangyuan.
Good trade from Tangyuan, honestly, but FoFo is happy to take a back trade if it sets up the pillar from Heng. Sets it all up. The slow is there, but the spiraling despair comes through. LWX trying to save his mid laner, but it ain't happening. And maybe they can get an answer onto Heng instead. Lwandy moving forwards to try and turn the play as Stay only just arriving on the scene. FoFo might just go down here. He's got no flash available. The wildcards fly on through, but a route is there. Ming misses the tongue lash. Stay with a gold card to protect himself, but it's FoFo to go down. And RNG answer back once more.
Nice job capitalizing on the mistakes from WE. Clearly, Heng and FoFo losing track of the fact that RNG's bot lane were able to make it in time. Sadly for Stay, still not level 6. If he had the Destiny, that might have been a different play.
It could have been a little bit better. I mean, Heng was hungry for this kill. Like, they really want to go for it. The fact that Tangyuan just basically takes out FoFo pretty much for free before the play even begins.
I gotta say, though, there's no ways, Heng, you can't not want to go for this after you have this absolutely dominant killer that just shuts all Tangyuan streams down. Like we said, you look at the map, LWX and Ming were already on their way. Stay still just barely finished clearing off the wave, which doesn't allow him to come in. Then it's just so easy being able to run them down with the stacks from Ming. Sure, Wei is going to have to commit a flash in the end to make sure that he can guarantee that this kill on FoFo, but for RNG, the fact that they're able to punish these mistakes and not fall too far behind in terms of gold is huge. 3-0-0 on the Xin Zhao already.
Yeah. Way, and especially off the start that we got between these junglers, where the early invade comes on through. Wayward as well, putting a lot of pressure on, trying to set up that cheese to begin with. The 3 quadrant start for our trundle from Heng. Way finding opportunities to get in, and it's mostly been through this bot side as well. Stay knocked up by Ming here, and we have seen supports 1v1ing AD carries this split. I'm surprised he didn't go for the Devour, to be honest.
Yeah, they even have some vision around. I guess maybe still a bit scared that someone can sneak in through that tri-brush, but like wrap around through River and not wanting to over-contest. WE still doing good in terms of the objective game. It looks like it should just be a solid 6 scrubs for them, and you know they're going to have a lot of pressure on turrets this game between the Darius and the TF. But speaking of the TF, look at the mini-map. A lot of people heading down.
Oh, Stays in trouble here. Does have flash available. It's kind of difficult for them to go for a dive immediately just because Stay has managed to separate himself. The wave wasn't underneath the tower, and he should survive at this point. But the TP comes through from Lwandy. Arrives on the scene. This is his second TP this game. He's getting some value out of that summoner.
I'm also surprised that he has like the confidence to TP in while Stay was still going for the recall. Does decide to stay in the end. Heng goes for the dive.
Spiraling Despair hits. There's a shield coming in. Heng just takes the tower for days. I mean, again, these Heng FoFo plays, I like them. They're a little overzealous, it has to be said. Good dodge on W from FoFo, but I don't think you're getting out of this one alive. And LWX and Ming, really, really great roams time and time again in this game.
Yeah, they just keep enabling Tangyuan and Wei to be able to match the aggression and the pressure that WE are putting forward. And now it's leading to RNG stacking up these Drakes pretty quickly into the game.
I don't know, like, everything in these patch notes. I haven't read them word for word, but apparently there was some part of the patch notes that said, you gotta be aggressive again, LPL. We gotta see some early action because these two teams are just running at each other. I love that Heng, no matter what is happening, is just going in. Like, he doesn't really mind where anyone else is on the map. He just wants a scrap.
Like, it feels like he's been in RNG's jungle more than he's been in his own jungle this game. And now, gonna try and set up for this dive on Breed. Does have flash and his ult up.
Okay, here we go. The Destiny even gonna be used as well. The whole Goon squad has arrived for this one. Stay. Gotta be careful on his positioning here. Lwandy's low, but there we go. We take down Breed. That's one for the side of WE. In the meantime, LWX and Ming are just hitting the tower in the bottom side. I'm pretty sure WE take this faster. I mean, Trundle alone, I think, takes this faster.
Not to mention the fact that they have the 6 scrub join. They're going to be able to rely on these mites to finish this one off. Still, oh, Heng? Okay, I'm surprised RNG didn't follow up more on that. Even if more people still could have been around, like in Fog of War, like we knew, even if they didn't and they assumed, it's like, oh, health bars were so low. So WE get first turret. LWX is getting a lot of that gold funnel just onto him, though, as compared to W, obviously sharing all of that in topside. But now with the map more open, this is where champions like the TF are going to be able to start being such an annoyance to RNG.
Yeah. And it's worth talking a little bit more about where gold is on the rosters. You mentioned that LWX getting a bunch of plate gold. He's 104 on the center. Very, very good position to be in. Already has his opportunity. But on the opposite side of the map, Wayward, he got that early kill, and he has really been using it. Look at the CS difference between Wayward and Breathe. It's almost 50 CS in favor of Wayward. That is a dominant top lane matchup so far. And Breed is going to really struggle to significantly get into these plays if he's this far behind. He still hasn't finished an item.
Yeah, I think especially in terms of that 1v1, it's going to be rough. I'd say the nice thing for RNG as a whole is, I mean, right, it should be hard for Wayward to actually find a way into these fights, running through all the zone control of the Talia. You have Way's ult that can knock him back. Breed can take him out of a fight. Senna's range. So even though Wayward is becoming a big problem to deal with, just in terms of their comp, I think there's a lot more pressure on Wayward to actually be able to find these flanks, or people like Lwandy, Heng, be able to set him up to reach the backline.
10 seconds of plates left, and I don't think any more are going to go down, which means there was, what, 9 plates taken by WE this game? 2 in the bot lane, 2 in the mid lane, 5 up top. This is a big team WE. Setting up sort of a bait in the brush. There's no Drake up for another 2 minutes, which, by the way, just quick shout out, the Drake timer is working again. I never thought I'd be so happy to see a Drake timer at the top of the screen. What a moment.
It's crazy. I had the same celebration yesterday. It feels like a different world. You don't have to guess when you're having a rough idea of when neutrals are up. I saw your Ghost streams where you were just Epic Pen putting the timer up in the corner. Great idea.
I had to draw the Drake as well, so that people knew that it was a Drake timer. And there's been some interesting art going on there, but regardless, it's going to be the Herald taken for the side of Way. There's been some interesting art when it comes to how Heralds have been used across the course of this split. We have seen some, let's call them misses. Let's call them misses coming out from some of our players, and there's quite a lot of them. So we'll see if Way is a solid driver. We'll see if he's earned his license.
Yeah, gonna use it right now. It's kind of interesting because I feel like we've seen Herald used way more for breaking up mid when Dragon's coming up, as compared to like last split where it felt like Herald was a lot more diverse in how and where teams were using it. So WE kind of gonna break that mold with how they're using it right now.
Summoner's Drift, Heng showing us how it's done. Gets all the way to the bottom lane. I can't believe we're not going to see whether it hits or not. It did hit. In the meantime, FoFo dodges a gank in the mid side. Oh, third charge. Here we go. Back to the mid lane again, apparently. As Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going to end up. It's just smited by Way, but Destiny comes in. LWX the target as he's knocked up by the depth charge. The cleanse only stops the card, but the follow-up from Lwandy is fantastic. Way has his flash available, needs to get over that wall. I don't know if he's going to get away with his life. The Crescent Guard keeps him safe for a short amount of time. The Spiraling Despair as Wayward just decimates Tangyuan, and the lightning bolt from FoFo to finish the job.
I love that Wayward knew he was going to go down anyway, so going the extra step further to guarantee the kill allows W to steal away more jungle camps. Now we're going to even use a TP to make sure nothing is lost on the map, and they should even be able to pick up the dragon off the back of this.
I think this is a very easy Zhonya's angle for Tangyuan after that play. That was like one auto WR, and he basically just gets one shot. That was insane. And then obviously FoFo capitalizing. Great bit of damage coming out on the way. Liandry's actually just picked up as well by FoFo, but this is going to be RNG able to muscle Heng away from this Drake. That'll be 3 Drakes now picked up for RNG. This is their win condition at this stage.
Yeah, at this point, getting the soul, but it's actually kind of interesting. We can talk about that after the replay, because my God, this was the best use of Herald and the best like pincer movement I've ever seen. Herald from Heng. I want the TP flash over. Like, where could you even go as LWX with all the angles W attacked you from in that play? Way also left in a very awkward position. Tried to hold on to the flash, has to use it in the end, but it's here with Wayward just being an absolute Chad, flashing in. There's the auto W into the R, and I mean, the ult from the way going to be able to get the job done.
It's the fact that Wayward is knocked back by Tangyuan. The flick back hits, it's a bit of damage, he's going to go down to the tower, and he's like, how dare you, do you know who I am? And just like flashes on him and takes him down. Good lord, big damage, and unfortunate for Tangyuan. I think he would have survived if he just clicked away from that one. FoFo predicting the movement well. Tangyuan kind of walking into the lightning a little bit. Need to take a look at items though, Lyric, because 2 items finished off of FoFo, big spike on the way. He's going to do a lot of damage. We're very close to that second item for Stay as well.
Yeah, getting up there. And I mean, that's kind of why this ties in well to the point about RNG's win condition being dragons, like you said. Because I wonder, it's like, as RNG, I don't actually even know if you'd want to get Soul anytime soon, because then you're bringing Elder onto the map even earlier, and WE should be stronger in a fight at this point in time. So it makes me wonder if RNG might even be more fine giving up, a Drake or 2, and allowing themselves to get up there in gold. Because, I mean, if RNG get next Drake, and then we have Elder, like, I mean, WE looking so strong right now with some of those item advantages you were pointing out.
They do look really strong. I wonder if WE, like, care about a 5v5 though. Like what we've seen, Breathe, you got to be a little cautious here. I'm surprised WE didn't just pull the trigger immediately onto Breathe, to be honest. Heng can remove a lot of those stats with his ultimate. Wayward now moving over. It's the blue buff is the objective here for WE. It does feel like this has been a skirmish game from WE, not necessarily looking for 5v5s. They're looking to pick people apart. The speed of the Trundle and the ultimate from TF, the fact that Lwandy has TP, it's all been working beautifully to make that happen.
Exactly, and I really want to put the highlight on Lwandy because, again, his TPs have kind of been so unexpected. I don't know, I love that one in the Raptor pit to just immediately flash over the wall and make sure LWX has no exit. Small things like that are why WE been so interesting and why they've been able to get themselves up to a 5-3 scoreline.
They've been a fun team to watch as well. Like, some of the games have been a bit slow, but it feels like they are discovering their kind of team identity as time goes on. It feels like this is a team that has shown an interest in trying different styles and playing different ways. Heng, oh, great pillar. Denies anything, and he'll protect his red buff. I've been enjoying watching Heng's Trundle today. He's a bit of a psychopath on the pick, and I feel like when you're playing Trundle, it's exactly what you want.
I agree. I love these kind of junglers that want to get in the enemy's face that can also go for like early ganks, like level 2s, and kind of add more things for the enemy to have to worry about. But Stay has finished off the rapid fire cannon, so that, of course, always being a big spike for TF, being even able to have more range with that gold card. Lwandy was hoping he'd be able to find something before anything went bad. But it's kind of a weird position of the game, right? Because for RNG, with how the map is, they really don't have the space to push too far forward in any of the lanes. So they're kind of forced to play this more reactive and defensive game. waiting for an X straight to come up, waiting for any oversteps from WE, and I think most importantly, not giving the angles for the Destiny, for the Lwandy TP to allow WE to find more advantages.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, it does feel like WE are really far ahead, and, you know, in terms of gold, they are nearly 4,000 up for 20 minutes. It's a sizable lead. Let's not get it twisted, as they say. As the cool kids say these days. I'm very, you know, hip and down with the kids, you know. Looking at becoming a BBC presenter next, I think.
You're doing your best, Gramps.
Destiny. But speaking of Destiny, like, WE have that lead. They need to be the ones to push things forward because, you know, like you said, Senna, Tom, Kench, Talia in the mid lane. This is not a composition that's going to fall off anytime soon. That said, they want to make things happen themselves. I wanted the target here, not necessarily the best target, as he's got that aftershock, hooks away to the wall. Flash from Tangyuan to answer, and the railgun comes through as well. That's a pick for RNG. Perhaps an opportunity. They want this Drake for themselves.
Yeah, now Wayward coming in, though. Wayward doesn't have TP, so wasn't able to join any earlier. 5v4, nice apprehend.
Oh, Way is just annihilated. Wayward starting things as he means to go on. Ming caught up by the gold card as Wayward just dives into the mix, looking for more. Breathe gets a bit of revenge for the laning phase, but I don't think it's enough to win the fight. Stay on the enemy backline. Tangyuan, last man standing, turns golden, but he just turns into his own tombstone. Baron on the cards.
And now all of RNG taken down only at the loss of Wayward. I guess Lwandy as well at the very start. That's how long that fight took. But now the Baron going to be theirs. I wonder if the respawns from RNG are going to come up in time for them to maybe try to beeline it to Drake, but I guess we're going right into the replay. I like that RNG go for this pick here, realizing, hey, we overload mid, Darius doesn't have TP, he can't join in, and just really easily able to chain their CC and lock him down. But it's Wayward who's really going to come in clutch for W to turn it back around with this apprehend. I'm a bit surprised that they had enough damage to just outright delete him. I guess FoFo has been really strong, but there it is. Apprehend comes through, he gets taken down. And then the flash Q from Wayward didn't look like it actually was able to connect with too many sweet spots, which is why he got taken down. Actually, no. Did a decent job, but still goes down so quickly to LWX and Breathe.
Just chain CC'd realistically as here we go. Round two, the buildings as Wayward wants an apprehend onto Way once again. Last time I feel like Way, they kind of knew where Wayward were. Oh, he's got him again. He's got him again. Way forced to flash out of this one as Lwandy goes in. That aftershock paying dividends. Depth charge across the team and Lwandy keeps himself alive. Spiraling Despair. Chunking out RNG. You can just concede this Drake. You don't have to all die for this one, RNG. Good flick back. Tangyuan has been on point on the Talia today. But that's Drake taken. And WE, they've got Baron and the fast track to the mid lane.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think RNG even needed to try to contend with this one. Could have just tried to get gold back elsewhere, you know, stabilize your mid lane, push out your top lane, and bring the game a bit closer, knowing you have such strong damage dealers later on with the Senna and the Talia. But now the map is so open, even more gold going in favor of WE, who brought us up to a 7k gold lead.
Oh, looking for a pick. Tangyuan versus Stay. I don't know if Tangyuan even wins that 1v1, to be honest. Although I suppose you only have attack speed at this stage. For the TF, perhaps there was an angle, but just stunned up. I love as well that Tangyuan did go straight for the Zhonya's second item after the Wayward incident under the inhib tower. I think definitely a correct decision as Kraken Slayer just got picked up by Stay. 3 items on FoFo as well. Man, these carries at WE are scary.
Yeah, they're huge now. And Destiny on the table, so you don't have to worry about like catching waves against the Darius or any shenanigans like that happening, since he can join in at any time. I want these TPs up in 50 seconds if the game keeps going. Like, he's gonna be able to come out at unexpected angles and find these plays.
Tangyuan is top with no TP and no ultimate available. He gets a tier 1, but this is a real big window for WE to just push aggressively. Heng can charge up forwards. There's 3 minions here as well as a cannon. They lose a tier 2 for that top lane tier 1 as Stay just absolutely annihilates these towers on the TF. There we go, mid tower down and Ming the target. Way trying to buy space for this present guard, but Ming He just can't survive the absolute onslaught from WE. They're just walking forwards menacingly, and there's nothing that RNG can do about it. Breathe finally takes one down as Wayward pulled underneath the towers, but the minion waves are coming. Stage just walks forward, and it dodges the knock-up. Tangyuan forced to use that. Zhonya's the lightning bolt hits as well. Look at this damage. It's so long range, and it's so powerful from WE as they look towards Nexus towers. Those 6 grubs are paying dividends for WE at this point in the game. Root onto Breathe as well as the re-engage from RNG. They have held onto their base, but only just.
I mean, luckily, right, they kept some of their most important members alive. Tangyuan with all the zone control, all the AoEs, throwing out a big damage dealer in LWX, and your kind of beefiest member in the Casantes. Tangyuan!
Oh,
that's pretty dangerous!
The lightning! Tangyuan! So close to going down as Ming TP's dragging a flank as well. It doesn't work out. Great fear from FoFo.
Yeah, worked out amazingly. I thought Tangyuan was a little crazy and was going to go down. But on the same token, right, you're almost 10k gold behind. I guess those types of desperation plays are the ones you need to be making at this point in the game for RNG. So we're going to get a replay here. I don't even really know if there's too much to say to this replay. You worded it beautifully. WE ran at them, and there was nothing they could do. And looks like they might do it again.
Heng is just running at them once more. It's basically 2v5 to start the play, and it felt like Heng and Lwandy were winning. As they charge on forwards, Ming's going to go down, and Lwandy, he's looking for the hook, and he finds Breathe. That's one gold card in as well. The Spiral in despair. Way is destroyed. Breathe will be next. Even the Cassante ain't tanking up for this one. As WE, they're just hitting them with their stats. It's literally like a ball of meat just rolling forwards, and RNG, they forgot the butcher's knife.
I'm just surprised. Like, WE, though, still don't have any patience. They're not trying to push in the wave top. They're not trying to do anything like that. Wait for the wave mid and just hope that you can end now with no front line.
Just look at the build from Stay as well. Double recurve to end the game. To kill for FoFo's Ming. We'll find an answer, but that's going to be game 1. And what a way to do it as well. We got a kill per minute for our money on this one. WE showing us that you can still be aggressive in the LPL.
I loved it, right? Bringing out the Trundle, having the TF-80 carry once again, the Darius, like leaning into their own flavor, being aggressive with it, clearly having an idea in the game plan with what they want to do with the invades coming through from Heng. Just overall, great way to see WE pick up a win.
Yeah, and you know, we came in saying both of these teams want to look confident today. We're getting towards playoffs. This is where you really need to define yourself. It feels like WE are a team that are defining themselves. They took a game off of JDG the other day. Now, absolutely rolling game number 1 against RNG. You love to see it. We're going to jump into break, and then we'll see if WE can keep this rolling on the